So the day has come. We are moving our camper to our house. So finally, got to get over here next to the exhaust. Pretty sweet. Anyways, we'll see you at the house. Okay, let's bring you guys up to speed here. This morning, we moved our camper to the house, which is nice because we've been staying in our camper for a few months now and we're ready to be out of it. We love living in it, but the location, we like having our own spot. So this is the room that we're gonna be moving into, the master bedroom, and we've got it all painted. Got the ceiling painted, we got the walls painted, all except for the trimming of the trim. So I've got 2 coats of white on the trim because we're gonna be painting all of the trim, but it's not trimmed in yet. But I'm gonna wait to do that until after the carpet. That way if any scratches happen, the final coat will take care of it. And because I wanna see carpet in this room. So we're gonna start with that, and we're going to lay down the padding next. Let's do it. Ta-da! Okay, just in case you guys are new to laying carpet or have never done it before, I am not a professional. I have laid my fair share of carpet, but I would not say that I am a carpet master by any means. But this is padding. You can get it in different thicknesses and different densities. This is called a 5-pound pad, basically. And it's not as thick or as dense as the nicer ones. But for a rental house like this in the future, it'll just be all we need, and it will still be softer than the hard floors I have in the camper. So all good there. So we got the closet, the little strip there, put in nice and tight. And then once you roll it out and cut it out, you can staple it down. And then you just want to make sure that you cut it around your nailing strips. And then these nailing strips here in the middle, they put those there because when they have bifold doors, you have to have those, something to support the, let's see what they're called, the door spacers. That way there's the track basically, so they stay on track. So when you screw these babies down, your doors pass on each side of it, and then this will slide in there. And so this, if you just screw it straight to the carpet, to the ground, it'll be too low for your door. And so by raising up on those carpet staples, those nailers, then you have enough clearance. So that's what that's for, just in case you're ever wondering. Now we get to roll the carpet out, and we're gonna start with that straight edge there, and hopefully the carpet just cut square and it'll be perfect right there, but most likely not. But we'll start in here, and then we're gonna have to do a seam because this room is bigger than 12 feet. And so we'll put the seam in the closet because I am not a professional seam person doing seams. I just got my first seaming tool today. I'll hopefully show you guys how to use it, but I'm gonna lay the carpet out and then we'll seam the closet later. So let's go ahead and get the carpet, start rolling it out. So I kind of got busy on the phone and then forgot to record. Sorry about that. But I got the carpet all cut to the room. It was about a foot shorter than I ordered, maybe 6 inches shorter than I ordered. But it ended up being about perfect. I had to stretch it a little bit. This is called a carpet stretcher, which helps stretch it. So this is the portion in the closet that I'm gonna have to put a seam in, which won't be a big deal. We'll seam that baby, and then we'll seam this right here where we had to go around the wall. Pretty easy fix there. So yeah, but this is what it looks like. It looks pretty sharp. Now I can come back through and do the touch-up painting, and it's gonna look good, especially once that brown window's not there. It'll look sharp. But now we can put our mattress in here and sleep in here tonight. So that's awesome. So I'll probably do a little more painting, and then I'm waiting on a lady from my church is bringing us dinner tonight, which is really nice of her. So I'm excited about that, and that will save some time. I won't do any groceries, but a little sneak peek of the kitchen here. Let me, some things moved around here. There we go, a little secret I can't show you. But anyways, my wife got the kitchen all organized, and it's shiny, all the dishes washed and put in the pantries. And it's looking really good, so I'm excited. And there's Chick-fil-A sweet tea in my fridge, so that's It's even better, check it out. Completely pointless to show you, but I love Chick-fil-A sweet tea. So we don't have one in our area, so we have to drive quite a ways to get it. And so my mother-in-law actually got it for me. So mother-in-law points, bonus points there, right? So anyways, let's do some more painting and I'll catch up with you on the next project. Well, it's the next day and the next project. Like I said, I was gonna mention, I'm gonna be back to the church project and we're gonna be putting in cabinets in here. So let's start moving some stuff and unpacking some stuff. Now that we have all of the cabinets unboxed, these are the upper cabinets. These are flipped this way, and then that one goes in the middle in between those. But you'll see as we get it installed, these are gonna go there and that one goes there. That way we have two openings for desk. But these are kitchen cabinets because that's what the customer ordered. And so we wanna shrink them down a little bit. That way they're not so tall for their office chairs. So our next step is to cut these down. We're gonna cut them down 3 inches as represented by this line, and then they'll be a little bit shorter. But before we get started, I want to change my blade out on my saw because I've been cutting framing lumber with it and it's probably a little dull. And if I cut this material with a dull blade, it will just chip it all to pieces. So I've got a new blade here. We'll stick on there and then we'll start doing some cutting. So this, in case you're not familiar with a circular saw, which is what this is, this one comes with an Allen wrench in the handle here. So you just pull it out, stick it in the little slot, and you're gonna loosen it going the right direction, not the left direction. So instead of lefty-loosey, it's righty-loosey. And that's because when this saw blade spins, it spins the direction that would loosen it. And so they switch the threads on it, so it will spin the opposite direction. So it comes out and doesn't come out while you're using it. So you take that out, take the little spacer washer off, flip this around, pop this out, and pop the new one in. And then lefty tighty, put it back in. And then there's a little button right here. Push that down and it'll lock the saw from spinning. That way when you tighten this, it doesn't move on you. And the whole time you're doing that, you gotta make sure that you don't have a battery in, just in case you accidentally pull the trigger, you're not gonna lock the finger off. So put the battery in after, good to go. We got all the cabinets shortened now, so they're a little closer to the ground than normal. But that's kind of nice because when he rolls up the chair to here, he'll be able to work normally without having to feel like a child in a booth at a restaurant. But so we got these positioned temporarily. I'm gonna do some level lines and mark out where the studs are, and then we can screw them together, screw them to the wall, and then we got some countertops to show you as well. We'll put those on after we put the backer board for underneath of the countertop, just like we've done in the past. But let's get that started. Okay, it's been a few minutes and we have done a few things, but none of it is completely permanent. So I'll turn you around here and explain. So if we're doing the upper cabinets, it's gonna be basically a big cabinet, little cabinet, and a big cabinet. So it's gonna be symmetrical on both sides, and they're gonna match the cabinets that are down here. So there's gonna be a cabinet, a space, and a cabinet,
and just like up there is gonna be a cabinet space and a cabinet, and it's a match. The only thing I don't know is how high the customer wants it. And so they gave me a generic number, and so I set it at that height, but it is a little tall looking to me, so I'm gonna wait till they come in and then show it to them, and then I can lower it or raise it accordingly. But in my opinion, this one's a little too tall, even for just an office cabinet, but it is growing on me a little bit, but it is a little too big. And then this side, we'll lower it down with that if we need to. Right now, we'll wait and see what they want. As far as setting cabinets, the base cabinets, we have set this corner cabinet permanently with shims underneath to level it perfectly, and then screwed it, you can see there and there and there, into the studs. That way it won't go anywhere. So it is nice and solid. So now I can measure off of this one, and we're gonna put a space here, so 36 inches, set that cabinet, and then measure over from this one and set this cabinet. The problem is there's an outlet that needs moved there into that box there, and then another outlet in the cabinet that's going to be supplying the power for some underlight on the cabinets. So anyways, I got to do some of this generic measurement stuff, and I'll get back with you as soon as we have some more progress. So we officially have all the cabinets fastened to the walls, and then we have them leveled perfectly from cabinet to cabinet. Now all we got to do is take some of these boards that I have over here. There are a few different ways of doing this, but I think probably the most common way is to use a sheet of plywood, but since that's so expensive and I have some of these on hand, I'm going to use these, and I will screw them down to the top of the cabinets, right there, right there, right there, down at the end. That way when I set the countertop on it, it gives it some structure, so if someone sits right there, it doesn't break. And then also gives me somewhere to screw from the bottom up, that way it doesn't have any screws from the top down, because that would be ridiculous. Why would we do that? But so we'll screw these down, and then we're ready to set the cabinets, the countertops on the cabinets, once we figure out exactly where we want this stuff to go.
Like that, our cabinets are set and leveled and screwed to the wall. We moved them down a bit because we wanted this drawer to hang out from the countertop a little bit more. So you'll see the gap down there, but we'll address that when we fix this panel here. And the reason there is a door and a drawer there is because this is a blind cabinet. And usually there's a cabinet right next to that, so you won't ever see that hole. But since we're not putting a cabinet there, we'll put a blank panel and some scribe molding, and it'll look good. So we got this down. This is basically just a backer for the countertop. We screwed it to the actual cabinets, and then we'll screw from underneath through this into the countertop, locking it down. So we just used 1x3s because that's what we had. But like I said, you could use plywood and all that stuff. And the electrician came and installed the outlets. There used to be one down there. So he moved it up to here and then moved it into there, which is nice because then you can plug in some underlighting or whatever you want inside there. And then once we get these hung, we'll be all finished, and then we can work on the countertop. So let's get to it.
How's it going? Just putting the countertop together. Nothing to see here.
Okay guys, are you ready for the big reveal? Wait, I already showed it to you. Check it out. Doesn't it look pretty cool? Let me turn you around.
Yeah, we actually did finish everything except for a few minor things like painting and caulking the trim that goes up next to the cabinet, and painting and caulking in there. But for the most part, we've got it all, excuse me, hung. So we got the doors set and drawers in. And the only things that we're probably gonna come back to do is when he installs his computer, they're going to install it in there. So we'll probably come and drill a hole right here for all of his cables and wires to go through to connect. Unless he goes to a laptop, then doesn't have to worry about it. And then also I'll come back and caulk the top of this. But there's a large gap here because the wall is not straight. So I'll have to make something up for that. And then also they want me to build a custom shelf right here. That way he can stick his folders in there, organization stuff. So it looks pretty sharp, pretty great. And then this little added detail, since this is a blind in cabinet, there's supposed to be a door and drawer there for a left side if you use it. If that makes sense, but we covered it up. We took a blank panel and then we stuck a trim scribe molding on the front of it. And then also we'll come back with the black marker and we'll paint the ends of these. That way they don't stick out so much. So of course we need to clean it. The office is back in use. He can put all the stuff in there. It's all nice and strong. And then also this detail, we screwed in from the bottom. And so we put some of that scribe molding here and there and so on. So pretty sweet stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. We are at 131 subscribers today. We were at 132 subscribers the other day, but then someone unsubscribed. Crazy. That's okay, it's gonna happen. But one day we'll have so many subscribers we won't even notice if someone ditches us. But anyways, don't forget to look in the description below. Don't forget to sign up for all the apps and stuff that I have in there. And then also, feel free to leave a comment, just anything, just say hi. Say I'm watching from Arizona or India or wherever you're from. So love to hear from you. Anyways, we'll catch you later. God bless.